Last night I had a dream that a wolf was attacking me and then I pushed it off of a cliff. But like, have you ever seen Selling Sunset? I was at like one of them Selling Sunset houses. And it wasn't a coyote, which would make more sense. It was a wolf. Anyway, hello. Welcome to the vlog. Hello, I'm Jennifer and welcome to my library. I'm a chaotic neutral mechanical engineer who's really into permaculture and wants to talk about books. This is the beginning of a reading vlog. Do I even know what I'm gonna read? No. Is it the last day of August? Yes. Tomorrow is Labor Day, which is great. Love a Labor Day. I need to eat food. I'm feeling super lightheaded and like dizzy. I was watching the Zandvoort F1 race and that track I think makes me dizzy. I also probably have not eaten enough. So I'm gonna whip up some food. While I'm whipping up the food, how about I pick out a book? I'm trying to read books from my shelf, but I also love reading audiobooks when I'm doing boring ass shit like cooking food for myself. Is this when we finally read Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier? What about the end we start from? 2 hours? Is this really only 2 hours worth of book? I feel like I can hear a fucking mouse. Oh my god. Sorry, I just went on an absolute... Do you hear this? Does that not sound like a fucking mouse? Oh my god. This mechanism is clacking. I've literally been thinking there's like a mouse chewing on shit for the last like 3 days. What a relief. Holy shit. Okay, and I picked out a book. So do we just carry on now? I guess so. Hey girl, hey girl, hey! I just had that food. I'm still feeling a little woozy. I think I might actually kind of be a little sick or a little overcooked. I had an extremely stressful day on Friday, and basically all day yesterday I was in like a really panicky mode. I kept screaming when my husband would like come into the room, which is not typical for me, and I think it was just because my anxiety was like super high yesterday. So I think I'm gonna actually try to be super low-key today. I do have lots of chores that I need to get done, but we have Monday off, so I will do that then. The end we start from is what I've been reading, and I didn't realize how incredibly short this book was gonna be because it looks short, but not super short. But then you open it up and you realize that it's like lines. It's like poetry, kind of. The audiobook is 2 hours long. I am halfway through it, and basically it's a climate apocalypse, post-apocalyptic, current apocalyptic tale. A big flood has happened. Most people are in survival mode, and this woman has just given birth. She's trying to take care of her kid while all this is happening. That's what I've been reading. So I think I'm gonna pop that in while I putz around in the garden. Hello, I've just come in from outdoors. Let's see how hot it is, huh? 96. If you truly want to know one of my vices, it's caffeine-free Diet Coke, because I do not like water. I have one kidney. As a child with one kidney, I didn't like drinking water, and my parents were worried about me when we were on like hikes and stuff that I would just fucking die. Who knew that I might be autistic? So I finished reading this book, the end we start from. I was in my front yard watering. I do have stuff that has died. It has been hot all week, and I just didn't have it in me to go outside earlier. I'm not doing super well mentally. Anyway, that's fine. I started and finished reading this book. It was incredibly fast-paced. There is a theme, because it's the end we start from, of creation myths, and with some sort of regularity interspersing the plot line with like a single line of creation myth. I really enjoyed that. And I enjoy the idea that the next stage of our human existence will just be a start. We will dismantle all the bullshit that we have going on right now just by necessity and start something else that's maybe better and maybe worse. The things I didn't like as much, it's too short. I love a short book. This is a little bit too disjointed. I feel like I've been using this word a little bit too much, but it's a little vapid in like, we're not thinking anything. We're not thinking anything on the page. We are simply like observing things nicely. And I like people thinking and discussing on the page. So that was something that I personally didn't enjoy very much. The characters have names. This is the thing that blew my mind. The little boy that they give birth to, the woman gives birth to, the boy has been named. And then, for whatever reason, throughout this entire book, we call everybody by their first initial. So the baby was named like Zorn or something, and it goes by Z. It was named Zeb. He was named Zeb. I cannot, for the life of me, understand why we would ever just call people their initials. It was very confusing for me because their names were just letters, so I couldn't understand who was who. Like, people would go missing and I would be like, is that the guy? Who is this? So that was a me problem. But also didn't like the choice at all. I kind of get it, like, we've lost everything, even names. There's so few people around that you can trust that you can go by the alphabet. Like, I kind of get the poeticness of it, but I didn't like it. So, those are my thoughts. I'm glad I read it. I'm glad I picked it up, but it was really not enough to like sink into. I don't know why I'm so riled up. I need to chill out. Happy Labor Day, everybody. It is September 1st. Yesterday we watched F1. That was fun. I am definitely a Piastri fan. Far, far above a Norris fan. Norris is probably one of my least favorite racers, so. Also exciting for Edgar. None of that is going to matter to anybody who doesn't watch F1. I've been reading Apothecary Diaries manga volume 6. Loving my time with this. I kind of want to reread it before I give it back to the library, if I'm being honest. This is so cute. Yeah, it's just the sweetest little side plot where Jinshi needs to dress up in disguise and they go out to the red light district together. I've also started reading The Raven and Other Poems by Edgar Allan Poe. This is a part of my spooky September reading, and I do have a poem that I would like to share with you. This is called The Valley of Unrest. Once it smiled a silent dell, where the people did not dwell. They had gone unto the wars, trusting to the mild-eyed stars, nightly from their azure towers, to keep watch above the flowers, in the midst of which all day the red sunlight lazily lay. Now each visitor shall confess the sad valley's restlessness. Nothing there is motionless, nothing save the airs that brood over the magic solitude. Ah, by no wind are stirred those trees that palpitate like the chilly seas around the misty Hebrides. Ah, by no wind those clouds are driven that rustle through the unquiet heaven, uneasily from morn till sorry. Over the violets there that lie in myriad types of the human eye, over the lilies there that wave and weep above a nameless grave. They wave, from out their fragrant tops, eternal dews come down in drops. They weep, from off their delicate stems, perennial tears descend in gems. I love, like, those final 4 lines. I think are so beautiful. Having an okay time with this. I recently rewatched the movie Event Horizon, which when I watched it the first time, I was like, whoa, this is weird, but also couldn't get it out of my brain. Just like forever had that movie in my head as something that was like interesting. So rewatching it, had a great time, because the first time you watch it, you're like, is this a science fiction? Like, what's happening? Because it is a science fiction, but it's also like so full of religious imagery, and I don't want to spoil the movie, so I'm not going to, but it's a horror, so there's like brutal deaths, and anyway, super interesting movie, but there's all of this like visual imagery. There's a lot of cross imagery, and there's these like beautiful coffin shaped doorways during certain scenes, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so beautiful and eerie. The ship is so creepy. Like, oh my god, the guy who made it is so weird. So anyway, I feel like I'm really in the mood for some sort of like creepy religious work, and so The Raven is kind of touching on that, where I get like a little bit of a spooky religious stuff. I wish I had Dante's Inferno, honestly, because I feel like that's actually what I want to read. I have Paradise Lost, but I'm not sure that that's like spooky enough for what I want. I want to go hiking, but it's been really, really hot. I'm gonna put on one of my fancy rings. I went to a jewelry store on Saturday to kind of like pep me up a little bit, and I just ended up getting really anxious because there were too many people around. So what do we think? The opal? Or, God, I don't even know what this stone is. I don't know what outfit I'm gonna wear. I think I'm gonna do the opal though. I love opal. It's so beautiful. I just realized I should read this book from NetGalley that I have, The Island of Last Things. Hello, I'm looking very weird and red because I cleaned my face. I completely passed out for so much of this weekend. Just slept and slept and slept. And I was so tired. I did want to give an update. I finished reading the Apothecary Diaries volume 6 manga. This is very likely the best issue, or my favorite issue of the manga that there will be. That's what I'm gonna guess, because so much of it is so cute, and also it's very like plot heavy, and I just loved it. I just loved it so much. I also worked on quite a bit of my fanfiction today, actually. I posted chapter 7 today, and I worked on chapter 34, I think is what I'm up to. And I finished up that chapter. I figured out a plot hole. I'm gonna tell you about it because it's not really that big of a spoiler. At this point, we are heading towards the Gerudo Desert. Jinshi, Mao Mao, Gaoshin, and Link now are traveling together to go to the desert. So they're kind of close to the Gerudo Canyon Pass. They're camping and waiting for Chief Riju and her party to meet them there. So I wanted like a mini mystery arc where Riju, she's lost her sand seal plushie, and so she can't sleep and she's having a hard time. And so like Mao Mao realizes that Riju's having a hard time, and she goes to help her and finds the plushie. So what my whole idea was that at the mini stable before the Gerudo Canyon Pass, Chief Riju would have her horse stay at the stable, and in that like transfer of stuff, she would accidentally have her plushie fall into the lake below and she wouldn't notice. And that the currents, because there's the cave, I can't remember what it's called, but there's the cave that connects between the Gerudo Canyon, like, waterway and that lake. There's a cave. And I was like, oh, perfect. The plushie will flow through the cave and end out where they're camping, and Mau Mau will be able to find it and, I don't know, figure out something about some other thing. I didn't get that far. But unfortunately, the way that the lake and the waterways work is the lake is deeper than the output. So the water is actually flowing from the canyon out through a waterfall, through the cave, through a waterfall, into the lake. So it's not possible for the plushie to go through the cave. And I was setting it up so well where, like, Mau Mau, she picks these splash fruit and she gets startled by Jinshi being a creep, and she throws the splash fruits into the water, and then those are going to be what float down and what initially catch her eye. Except that all of that's broken because that's not how the canyon works. So now my thought is maybe there's some guy who's living in the cave. Maybe it's like some like abandoned Yiga guy, or it's like one of them cave monsters. Plot-wise, I'm like kind of stuck. I've really written myself into a plot hole. Now for reading, I've been reading The Island of Last Things. Really cool. Really enjoying it. It's a very good vibe. It's the last zoo, basically, in the world, and they have a lot of, like, last of their species, although, like, some of that is just hype and some of that is real, because we're in an absolute hellscape of future Earth, and it's set on Alcatraz. And then I also have the manga volume 3 of Apothecary Diaries. I'm getting them in every which order because I just cannot wait to read more Apothecary Diaries, so I get whatever is available from my library. Hopefully I have the will to go to work tomorrow. Girl, does it look like I've been crying? Because I've been so fucking stressed out that I've just been crying. So anyway, I wanted to maybe... I had an idea last night and percolating for a while. I have an idea to do another crossover fanfiction where I cross over Apothecary Diaries with Bee and PuppyCat in the before times, before I thought that I might be autistic. I was so obsessed with the Bee and PuppyCat show when it came out on Netflix, and I rewatched it a few times. And then I, like, got all of the issues of the, like, comics that were available from my library. I think I might need to buy some, actually. I had gone through an obsession with that show at that time. And then I kind of, like, was like, okay, it's too much. I need to stop. I don't need to stop. I can do whatever I want. I actually started rewatching it because I really wanted something, like, very comforting, and I just love Bee and PuppyCat so much. So I put it on, and then I was like, oh my god, I could do another crossover. And I guess it's not really a crossover, it's an alternate universe, where it's Mau Mau and Jinji in an alternate universe, because I'd be removing Bee and PuppyCat and probably Deckard, and it would instead be Mau Mau as, like, the Bee character, Jinshi as, like, the Deckard character, and Mau Mau the cat as PuppyCat. But, like, they're also themselves at the same time. So that's the idea. I just think it would be cute if instead of doing, like, the temp jobs, they go do temp mysteries together, and then Mau Mau can, like, solve a little mystery, and Jinshi's just, like, hanging out with her. That's what I'm thinking. I might start writing it. I feel like this requires so much more work than I felt when I started with the Tears of the Kingdom and Apothecary Diaries story. because that one I felt way more secure in being able to look things up with Tears of the Kingdom and like all the places and everything's name. Whereas with Bee and PuppyCat, I feel like there's a lot more risk in me not knowing about things and not being able to like find the information super easily. That's what I'm thinking to make myself feel better, but I had a slice of pie when I got home. Hello, it's Saturday. I haven't been reading a lot. Hi, little dog. Where are you wandering off to?
Would you like a big hug?
Bless you. Hello. Did you hear we were giving out hugs? Sorry about that. I haven't been reading a ton at night. I just haven't been reading, which is very unusual. I've been super tired, but then I've also been like restless. Anxiety, I guess. But I did finish reading Apothecary Diaries Volume 3 manga. It's so cute. Love the Apothecary Diaries so much. I have made some progress in the Island of Last Things. I have been enjoying my time with that, but I want to be able to focus on it, so I haven't been reading it when I'm super tired. The other book that I have is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern, which is a book that I own. Listen to the first like half hour of it on audiobook. I was not paying attention in any way, and I haven't wanted to pick it back up since then. But I could maybe make some significant progress on this weekend. I don't know. I want to work on my succulent garden. I have decided I'm not going to pressure myself into making a creative project video every month unless I have something that I really want to share. And that is because I am definitely prioritizing creative projects outside of reading already in my life. I am writing more than I have in the past with the fan fiction that I'm working on. Actually started another one that I was mentioning to you all, that I wanted to work on one that was Bee and PuppyCat based, set on the island that Bee and PuppyCat is set on, and with the conceit of having temp space jobs. I have been working on my first chapter of that. I think these are probably going to be more like long and self-contained chapters that follow the entire temp mystery in one issue, probably, or I'll release them all as one, but like break it up into slightly smaller chapters. And I also did read a volume of the Bee and PuppyCat comic. I think I would like to purchase those because I forgot that I had read them already, the ones that are offered by my library, which is like a bind up of volume 1 and then episode or issue 2 and issue 3. So I'm going to look online and see what all exists in that world. So my creative project for last month that I never posted a video on, I'm just going to include clips here in this vlog because it was creating a succulent garden in my front garden. I got really into permaculture starting in like 2019 and watched so many videos about it. Also, highly suspecting that I'm autistic, so I think permaculture is a special interest. Just gobbled up a lot of information about permaculture, read a bunch of books, and now I have a food forest in my front yard. I have grown peaches from pits. I had 3 fruiting peaches this year from the pits that I planted. So in the front yard, it's mostly food forest. And then I got more and more interested in growing different types of succulents. I do not have a depth of knowledge on succulents, what they all are, what the different types are. I have not gone into it. The succulents I've set aside for myself as like my frivolous and fun, and they don't have like a use kind of gardening. August is the month of my wedding anniversary, and this wedding anniversary for us was our fruit and flowers anniversary. So that's like the traditional gift. So I don't have any fruits to plant, but I do have the flowering succulents and not flowering. I think they're all flowering. So I'm going to work on that because I've been kind of putting it off. I have some different propagated succulents to put into the ground, and I kind of want to make it look nice. It's not going to look great because all of the plants need to fill out, and I think over winter everything will get a lot more lush. Look. So I've brought in the succulents, and I thought we could go through each one and I could talk about them. Giant blue Echeveria. It's very pretty. I love the color and the texture. This one's probably the grossest looking one that I got, and that is Baby Toes Fenestraria Rhopalphilia, or Phila. And yeah, it does look like baby toes. It's pretty gross looking. But I love the textures of succulents are so fun. This is also really beautiful. It's Crassula mesembryanthemoides hybrid Crassula. So it's got like this really nice texture where it's like rough. It's like a sandpapery or like a cat's tongue. And it's just like spiky. It looks like it's gonna set out some flowers soon. Crassula volkensi. To me it's like so delicate. It looks like a little rose bush. I love this. This like glorpy little, it's like got rosy tips and it's like very glorpy. It reminds me of like Goosebumps book covers, which is like one of my absolute favorite aesthetics in the world. And this is called Jelly Bean Sedum Robrotinctum. This is a purslane. This is Pizzazz Nano Orange purslane. Oh, Zone 11 annual. No! Sorry, I didn't realize that this was not our zone. I thought this was going to be a perennial, but it's beautiful, so I guess I'll just put it in the ground. This really gorgeous one called Sunsparkler Dazzleberry Sedum, but it's really, really beautiful. One of them big trees that koalas like. When those are cut and put into vases, it kind of looks like that. There's a stray cat in the front yard, and he just is pretty chill nowadays. He just sleeps in our front yard now that Gordon doesn't hang out with me in the garden because Gordon is dead. He has been so needy all day today. Look at his big teeth. He's got such big teeth. He's such a funny guy because he hates his head getting touched, which is so unusual for a cat. Oh, sorry, I've got fur. Oh, he's right up here. Something I would like to do is tend to my little free library. I had somebody take every single children's book, and later my husband found that one of the children's books was in the middle of the street. So I have a feeling that some hoodlums took my books and threw them around. But anyway, replaced the kids' books, so now there's kids' books back in there, and they've been in there for a little bit, so I think that's going okay. I need to tend to the adult books because nobody has taken anything in a very long time. So I'm gonna look through all of the books that I have and change stuff out, but still keeping a variety so that any given person might find something that they like. So last night we watched Spider-Man. Spider-Man is a perfect movie. Can we talk about that? The pacing is impeccable. It is so fast-paced. Every single thing that happens is interesting. The Aunt May and Uncle Ben are perfect. dear Lord, Uncle Ben's death is so impactful. I really, really, really thought that movie was so good. We're watching Spider-Man 2 tonight. So, books. That's what we're doing. I just sat this down here and realized that Louie is exactly in the middle. See, Louie is a normal cat who does like his head getting scratched. And this guy was born from, like, a super inbred colony of cats who live in this neighborhood. There's another black one that's been spotted every single day so far in our backyard. No man's land. How about Confessions of an Ugly Stepsister? Let's do that. This one might be good. The Sentinel. Let My People Go Surfing. That hasn't been there in a while. This could be an interesting one. This one's super weird. It's like a religious book about sugar fasting. So this one was a library copy. Can I talk to you real quick? Not like I'm already not talking to you. In my town, there is a shop for sale. Like a business building. And oh my god, it would be so perfect as a used and thrift bookstore. And I would love to own. Honestly, a thrift store would be so fun, but like with a focus on like attention to books, where like the whole front is books. Oh my god, what a dream. I'm not a business person, and I'm like so horrible about talking about and thinking about money. Okay, so that is my neighbor's camper. It's horrifically annoying, honestly, because it really blocks the road quite a lot. But at least you can't really tell where I live. Oh my god, I'm dropping books as we speak. So I left about half of the books in there. I took back this Justice Hall. This one, Murder in the Latin Quarter. The Rocks. The Last House Guest. And One Good Deed. I can't believe people aren't picking up these hardcovers. So that's one little task done. Yeah, but wouldn't it be so fun to have a little bookstore? I was watching one of Katie Marie's videos where she does like a gameplay where you start up like a mobile bookstore. Maybe I should play a game.